I'm very happy to have a young professor with us for the Voice of the Young series. So he's young, but he's a professor. Anyway, good to be back with all of you. Right now, we have with us Dr. Manu Sharma. Let's listen to him. Over to you, Prof.
That's a wonderful initiative, sir. First of all, I must congratulate you, and you have done a wonderful work for the young people, those who aspire to be, make their career paths in economics. So I must congratulate you. I think you have done plenty of Vidpeds with the many young minds earlier.
Yes.
So I follow that. I cannot claim that I have watched all the series of yours, but I like sometimes whenever I get time, I do watch them and I feel nice.
Okay.
And I regret that in my time it was not there, sir.
Yeah. I thought of it too late. Right. All right. Let's continue.
Okay. So, sir, I'm a professor right now. I just started as a professor. I did my Ph.D. from Pilani. So I would just introduce how economics was introduced in my life first. So since till class 12th, I was doing my studies in Rajasthan. I had science math in my 11th and 12th class. I was a science student. But all through my schooling, I didn't like the way, we were taught. We were it was more about marks all the time. It was about merit, it was about marks, and there were a lot of exams and all, right? Like that time, the education system was also going through a little, it was becoming relatively very compulsive. Like you have to do it, you have to make a career. And in my home, the picture was completely different. My father would not ask me what you want to become. So after my 12th class, after my 10th class, I said, my friends are taking science math. And that is the reason why I took science math in my 11th and 12th class. So it was we had to take some specialization after 10th. But then, sir, all through it was more about, very strict atmosphere in the school. So I didn't really like studies at all. I would just after the school, I would forgot I have school. I have to go tomorrow as well. I would be completely immersed in games and cricket and all that. That's how it was.
Yeah.
Then in 12th, after 12th, after that, my mom met a severe accident. And for further studies, and I was also not liking science math too much. So I thought, let's try some other subjects as well. So I stayed home. I didn't go for the higher studies in doing some engineering and all. I didn't prepare for IITs.
Where were you in Rajasthan?
Sir, I don't know whether you know the place or not. I was there in Junjunu.
By the way, I'm from Jaipur, so I know Junjunu.
Oh, wonderful, sir. I was not aware about it.
I grew up in Jaipur, so certainly I know Junjunu. All right.
Okay, sir. That's nice to know, sir.
Yeah.
So, so I stayed home. I explored different subjects. And what happened after that? After 12th, my father introduced me there in Junjunu. There is a place, Arvind Ashram.
Yeah.
My father said that you should go there sometimes. You should go and talk to the people around. And there I met somebody, very wonderful human. And everybody would call him Uncle Ji. My father would call him Uncle Ji. A little kid would call him Uncle Ji. And he was a wonderful guy. He would teach us Sri Aurobindo's, spiritual writings. And other than that, he would also teach us economics. And he's a gold medalist in economics from Rajasthan University. And he went on to do his PhD from McMaster University in Canada in economics. And then due to some spiritual calling, he left everything and came back to Rajasthan. But since he has, he had immense love for economics, maybe he's still having that. So he would teach us economics. So during my graduation, I stayed there in Junjunua, and I would go and sit in the classes. And other than the spiritual, though I was also liking the spiritual content as well. And other than that, I also started liking economics.
Okay.
So he would teach us Paul Samuelson, sir. And it was my first intro. It was how economics was introduced to me in my graduation.
Yeah.
So I found it very interesting, like since it has little maths as well as it's technical. So I had the background in science math till 12th class. So somewhere it clicked. So other than economics, I had political science and history. And in my graduation, I think I scored the least in economics.
Okay.
Out of all these three subjects. But I started liking economics somewhere due to Paul Samuelson and maybe the way he taught us.
Yeah.
In a very much applied manner. So it was not only related to the theoretical aspect, but it is, I find it really nice. Even today, when I read it, it is still challenging text. I mean, maybe it's related to a little bit undergraduate level, but still it is a very nice text, and it would be a beginner's guide for economics, I would say. Just after 11th, 12th, people can do that. So so after my graduation, there, like in that graduation period, I also developed an interest in reading novels and some of the spiritual context as well. Some of the spiritual books I started liking, and I also learned how to play TT there. So I also began to love TT as well during that time. So all those students only taught me how to play and everything. So I enjoyed my stay. It was a wonderful place. And also it was in contradiction to the earlier system, sir, where everything was more about, whether you should get marks and all. I was completely out of it now. So I enjoyed. I really loved it, the way things were.
Yeah.
And after that, I talked to my father and I said, like, should I go for masters in economics, since nothing was imposed on me? Like, he never asked me what you want to do. So I said, I think I should go for it, like for masters. Then I went for, in Jodhpur, you may be knowing the place in Rajasthan. There is a state university, Janana and Vyas University.
Yes, I know.
So I went there. And there, that was the first time I went into a university, a typical university where professors would come to the class, and then I started liking the profession as well, because it was not really like a corporate culture, that you have to stay till 8 to you are going 7, and you have work again, you have to do that as well. So I started liking the lifestyle of a professor also. And there, like, and the best part about the universities, other than Paul Samuelson, I found many other books of economics there from foreign authors, and I started liking those books. And there were many books which were not part of our syllabus, which were not relevant to us. But since, like, it was my first experience, like looking into books like from international editions, colorful pages and beautiful diagrams in that, so I began to read them as well. And many of my seniors would advise me there is no point in reading too much. And there is no point in reading too many foreign authors also, because you may get confused, because every text has a different way of representing the same idea.
Yeah.
The notations also change. So sometimes we get confused also. I didn't pay any heed to their advice.
Okay.
And in the first semester, I got less marks because I was not very particular about the syllabus. So there again, I found very much the interest I was not losing, and the atmosphere was not that demanding. Again, the same thing that actually helped me grow in economics.
Yeah.
So after that, sir, like in my final year, I specialized in econometrics and statistics. That what we had to go for some specialization.
Yeah.
And once I did with my masters, I scored well in my final year, like a good score. I learned how to balance maybe the interest and how to get marks. That's what I was losing earlier.
Yeah.
So so afterwards, sir, my life came to a standstill. There are no degrees anymore, I did my masters. I had no planning at all. So then I cannot ask my father as well, because he would say like,
Mhm.
do whatever you want to do now. Though like, yeah. So I mean, there are pros and cons of giving a free hand of doing,
Yeah.
but I really like the way, because nothing was imposed.
Yeah.
So afterwards, like after my post graduation, there is another uncle ji in my life who introduced me that you should go for Indian Economic Services. It's there in economics. It's basically, I think, conducted by Union Public Service Commission,
Yeah.
and it's once a year, or yeah. So it's specifically for economics, and I think it's there for statistical services as well. So yeah, so we searched some coachings if there are available in Jaipur, or if anybody has some idea about that, but it was negative all over. Like nobody was aware about it during that time, maybe, or maybe I didn't meet the right person.
Mhm.
So the other uncle ji advised me that you should go to Delhi
Yeah.
to prepare for Indian Economic Services, and I went there. In Delhi, I went for preparing for Indian Economic Services, and I met wonderful people there. It was not the coaching, I would say, but it was the people around me who actually helped me, to my friends and all those I met. That really helped me. Again, the economics was intact. The love for economics was intact all through. So there, like, uh, I started preparing for Indian Economic Services, and I gave one attempt. But again, it was like first time experience of going to Delhi and then all things, and I was not really that particular about that, because it is more, Delhi is more famous for that UPSC preparation, that is Indian Administrative Services.
Yeah.
So the error I committed here is that I half-heartedly was preparing for Indian Economic Services, and then I started preparing for UPSC also at the
Yeah.
same time, because many of my friends advised me that you have to prepare for optional also there in IAS. You
Yeah.
also have an optional paper where you can select economics as an
Yeah.
optional paper. So, but there was a difference, in terms of depth required for general knowledge exams, GS exams. So I ended up having, I would say, like, due to the half-hearted nature of the preparation and not keeping an eye on a particular objective, I missed them both. Though I didn't give it, another turn or anything like that. I couldn't carry on with it. And then suddenly there was a assistant professor exam in Rajasthan. So I came here. It is conducted by Rajasthan Public Service Commission.
Yeah.
College lecturer exam. So
Yes.
I gave the written exam here, sir, and I qualified for the interview.
Yeah.
I got an interview call from RPSC, and it all got so much confusing to take on all these at the same time. And I gave, my friend advised me to give an exam by this UGC, which is NET, we call it,
Yes. I know that.
National Age.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. So it is 2 times a year. So I sat in the exam and I got JRF, sir.
Yeah.
And should I tell something about this exam?
No, it's
What
okay.
should?
People know about it. So let's continue with you, not about
Okay.
the exam.
Okay, sir. So yeah, so again, it was confusing. Like, again, there's so many goals, though everything is related to economics, but I was not particular about anything. So I'm not talking about my disappointments here, but maybe the young people can learn about it, that they should be specific while choosing an objective. They should be particular about that, and there are many other options available to them also. But it is about being particular about what you want.
Yeah.
So there, I made a mistake. Though I enjoyed my stay and my learning with economics, that is the other side of the picture. So yeah, so afterwards, like, again with JRF, there is a validity of 2 years. Like, till 2 years, if you get enrolled to any university, it is valid. After that, it gets lapse.
Yeah.
So within 2 years, I had to get somewhere enrolled, and I found an institute nearby my home. It's Pilani.
Yeah.
So it was very So I heard the name also before, but I was not aware that there is a department of economics there. But
Yeah.
I got to know that.
Yeah.
So sir, I enrolled for PhD there, and it was a wonderful experience, learning from having good mentors and having good company of PhD scholars from different backgrounds. And in my department also, I started learning about research. And then there is a time, that you know that this is the thing you want in your life.
All
I
right.
experimented a lot. That I don't regret. So yeah, so that particular field, this is the first time my father also told me that this job is wonderful.
Yeah.
You are your own master here,
Yeah.
and if you are lazy also, you can survive here in this system. That is the best part about it. So, and it's about learning and learning what you love,
Yeah.
so it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. So you finished your PhD with specialization. What was your special topic?
Yes, sir. It is a mix of macroeconomics, international economics, and development economics somewhere.
Okay.
It is on international tourism, and how international tourism and economic development are related in Indian context.
Yeah.
So I tried to find, like, what are the factors that can contribute to a great number of tourist arrivals in the country, whether ICT, information and communication technology, is promoting tourism, how exchange rate is impacting tourism. Then I also tried to capture the impact of how tourism can impact poverty, inequality, the development part.
Yeah.
I tried to explore the channels through which inbound tourism can impact the development aspects. Like, it can have an impact on inflation, let's say, in the particular region. It can actually increase the inflation. So there are positives and negatives, and then we have to go for the research, and then we have to find out what ultimately is happening.
Yeah.
So that's how, like, I tried with the inquisitive mind all through, and learning and reading research paper was something new to me. And then I gradually started writing, and then I'm still learning about that though. But again, I found that this way is something that I can do. That's my calling.
Okay. So the
So
JRF covered all your costs for all the years of PhD.
yes, sir. it
Oh.
it was like, during my time it was somewhere around, so yeah, there is a like, initially, for 1.5 year you get 32,000, and
Yeah.
after that it is, you become SRF, senior research fellow, so you get 35,000. So it is
Mm.
more than sufficient there in Rajasthan.
Yeah.
There's no much, not much cost there. And anywhere, I think, and I know, like, I got to know that recently, that now there is a revised fellowship also. There is a hike in the fellowship amount.
So good.
So it
So
was,
you finished your PhD and then you said, now what? Right?
yeah, sir. So the challenging part about PhD is that when you start doing it, people start asking, like, why he is still reading when he
Yeah.
will start earning. So that's a bit challenging, because people, like, usually people don't understand, like, what is the need of going from after so many degrees and all. So that you have to manage in PhD.
Yeah.
That, yes, I'm still reading, I'm still doing my thing. And then gradually people start also acknowledging that, okay, it's reading, and then he may become a professor or something.
So,
So
so you finished your PhD and it was a good experience, right?
yes, it was a wonderful experience, sir.
Right. And then what? You get your PhD and then what? What did you do after that? How did you decide?
So after PhD, sir, since, like, I was influenced in my masters, looking at the lifestyle of a professor, I thought becoming a professor would be something that I can do. So after that, I started applying for jobs, and then here in Bangalore, I got my first job here. So I'm working on it. I'm working at Alliance University. It's a wonderful place.
Okay.
And
How's the life there? Fast paced compared to Pilani
yeah, a
or
bit fast paced. Yeah, yes, definitely. It's a fast paced life. You have to catch your bus, and then you have to, be conscious of the time and all. You have to manage your body cloak around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that is a bit fast-paced life if you compare it with, life at Pilani.
All right, fine. So you think you have found your calling? You think you
Yes, sir.
found? Yes. Okay.
To,
Okay. Good.
to some extent, I think I have. But I can like what I can say about it is that just securing a job is not something I would want to end up somewhere. I would also like to do something for the society. That's what I have in my mind. Do something, some
Mhm.
more meaningful research. How can I impact, lives around me? How to involve people around me? That's what I'm looking into.
Mhm.
Like so I would love to explore more avenues, where I can actually make an impact.
Okay.
That is also one part of my inner calling.
Yeah. All right.
So that's what I'm looking at, like right
Oh,
now.
wonderful. Any
So
any tips you want to add for very young people, 11th, 12th, first year college, something like
okay,
that?
so yeah, so like since this initiative was not there in my time, sir, I already told you I regret that. But definitely the young minds now, since they have this and they are also learning from experience of different individuals, I would say that just the error I have made, like you have to pick something, okay, and then you have to devote to that goal like wholeheartedly. And even if you end up like exploring like me, you know different avenues, still you will not like lose anything. There
Okay.
is nothing wrong in that as well,
Mm-hmm.
because not everybody gets their calling, um, so everybody has a different timeline. So that's what I would like to tell, that like wholeheartedly prepare. And economics is a wonderful subject.
Okay.
It has both uh, theory, application, and
We are back from the internet glitch. So, Prof,
so
please
yeah.
continue. Continue.
So, sir, I would say like economics is a wonderful subject, and what I am witnessing is that this subject is also going through, you know, uh, a transition. Because what I feel is the now behavioral economics is coming to picture, right? It's also changing as the time is also changing. So it would be really nice. I would urge like you can explore different dimensions of economics, as it has a lot in it. Like there is a lot to explore in it. And other than that, I would say like they can also make an impact on the society. Choosing it would be also for a greater good. This subject can also be helpful in that part also.
Okay.
So that's what I want to add, sir.
Okay, great. I'm very happy to hear that your family supported you through all your zigzags. For finally, you have landed up in a great place, a sweet spot, something that you like. And I'm really happy to hear that even, places whose names most people don't know, like Junjunu, but I know. Those even students from there can reach Bangalore and be in a good university. It's very heartening to hear that and to see you, so good, so successful from a place like Junjunu, which no one knows about because it's too small, right? But anyway, it's great to have you here. Maybe we'll catch up with you in a year. Anything else you want to add before we close this?
No, sir, it was a wonderful experience, I
All
must
right, so
say.
let's
Like
close it here.
nobody allows us to speak that long.
I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon, or maybe another young professor. Till then, bye everybody. Okay, so bye.